Hello everybody and welcome to the Irregular Magic High School Visitor Arc Episode 13 Season Finale Anime Review. So, this episode, I read somewhere that this little mini thing at the end is like a anime original arc. I have no idea if that's true, but that's just what I read, and that would explain why it doesn't feel like Visitor Arc, because it's not. Also, I watched the movie. I'm just giving you what I've done, I guess, in the previous week. I watched the movie, it was alright. But now this episode itself pretty much wrapped up, you know, how you'd expect. Tatsuya did some cool things, Tatsuya did some more cool things, and Tatsuya did some cool things and then saved the day. That's the very quick rundown of the episode. That's not a bad thing, that's pretty much what this show is about. Tatsuya doing cool things. But, hey, I'm not against it. Also, I guess I'll mention it now. They announced that spin-off anime for next year, so I'll watch that. Weird how it's going to be, because Miyuki is with Tatsuya, like, most of the time, so isn't it just going to sort of be a remake? Like, is that what we're going with this? Who knows, we'll have to see next year, but for right now, let's get into this week's episode, how this is going to go. I'm going to talk about the episode, and then I'm going to talk about the season as a whole, so we'll do that afterwards. But for right now, let's get into the episode, see how this all went down, and do this thing. So everybody starts escaping the tower because obviously the terrorists have said, hey, you can get out, but then we're going to blow the place up, so make sure you get out. Tatsuya tells Shizuku and Honoka, get out of here. Of course, he and Miyuki go to talk to old man Hayama and Minami, see what they know, and find out what they know. That's exactly how it goes. He asks Tatsuya, Hayama says, Tatsuya, protect the building, otherwise it'll be bad. And Tatsuya's like, okay, fine, whatever. Take Minami with you. Tatsuya then stares at her, like properly stares at her, and she's like, I'm feeling very uncomfortable here. You're just staring at me, Tatsuya. And then they determines, yeah, you're good. You'll probably be helpful. You can come with. Protect Miyuki, will you? And she's like, okay, I will do that. And then the three of them head off on their grand adventures to save the day. They then jump out the side of the building because that's faster than taking the stairs, obviously, and land safely because magic. At first I was like, how are they going to... for some reason my brain had forgotten magic was a thing, and I was like, they just jumped out the building, how are they going to land? And that's the BS. But then of course magic, and it's like, oh yeah, magic. It's in the title. Why did I forget? They head through the basement. Tatsuya surveys the situation with his Tatsuya vision, where he figures out who's on what floor and whereabouts. It's like Eagle Vision or whatever in like Assassin's Creed. But yeah, like magic vision. I don't know what to call it. Only 5 enemies at first glance in the building. I guess that stays true because, you know, no more enemies come to get them. They wait for evac. The terrorists will wait for everyone to get out if they know, because they don't want to lose the support of the people. If they kill a bunch of people, people are not going to be like, oh yes, we support their plight. They're going to be like, they just murdered 52 people. That's not good. So obviously they're going to wait for people to get out. Then, out of nowhere, very random occurrence, an earthquake happens. And what this earthquake does, it cuts the power to the elevator, which Honoka and Shizuku and a bunch of other people are in. So then Tatsuya's like, well, that's not good. Now they're stuck. They're all going to get blown up. So we've got to get to the control center and, you know, that's where the terrorists are, and get them to restart the elevator. Thankfully, Tatsuya has a brain, and he's not like, okay, let's go in guns blazing. He's like, let's try and talk to them first, you know. We might be able to convince them, hey, we're not here for trouble, we just came to let you know the elevator's busted, can we fix the elevator? And I appreciate that they tried that. They head down there and Tatsuya speaks to the leader guy and he's like, hey, the elevator's busted, we're not here to fight, can we do something about that? The leader guy is like, you might be our enemy, so we can't let you in the room. And then Tatsuya's like, so I guess that's where the bombs are controlled from. And the leader guy's like, clever you figured out what I was doing. And then they're like, we will handle it, please leave. And then Tatsuya's like, okay, fine, I guess we're going to leave then. And then, of course, breaks the guns and knocks 2 people out because Tatsuya's really good. I don't have much else to add on that. The terrorists should have just let Tatsuya fiddle with the controls and then he would have left. I mean, he wouldn't have, but as far as we know, they know, he would have left. Then there's, of course, a magic battle, which Team Tatsuya win because they're really good. Again, they all end up frozen because Miyuki was there. It was like Minami was like doing some rebound bullets type thing, like barriers, and then Miyuki froze them all. another spell activates, which destroys some pillars down below. And Tatsuya's like, okay, someone activated it while we were fighting. So the leader guy hypnotized someone. The person was willing, and that person used the magic. So he hypnotized them to use the magic. So he was controlling them kind of to use the magic. That's, I think, what happened. I think that's how it was explained. Again, sometimes I get lost with the explanations in this show, but I feel like that's how it happened. Forget the elevator, saving the elevator, because if the building blows up, it don't matter if the elevator's moving or not, because it's gonna blow up, So yeah, they head down to stop the collapse, jump down another elevator shaft. What is them with jumping down things? Of course, I guess waiting for the elevator is not something they want to do, so they just jump down and land safely again, because magic, let's not forget. Tatsuya and Minami get to work on undoing the cracking of the pillars. However, once they undo the cracking, then there's more pressure on the ones that are still there, so I guess they crack faster. So basically what they got to do is restore all the pillars at the same time. But then Tatsuya is like, would my brain be able to handle that much processing? I'm like, Tatsuya, your big brain, of course it would. He considered escaping just to get Miyuki out of there, and I'm just like, that's harsh. Your friends are in the elevator, Tatsuya. They're going to die if you don't do anything. I think they were actually out of the elevator at this point. But they were still on, like, the 80th floor. They'd still die. But no, then Tatsuya's like, I can't betray her faith in me. So his thinking wasn't, yes, I must save my friend. It's, man, I don't want to let Miyuki down. She thinks I can save the day. And I'm like, okay, I get that Tatsuya cares about Miyuki above all else. But he's got to care at least a little bit about his friends, right? Just a little bit. Maybe that's just me. They do some hug power unlocking and everything. He gets the tower structured data. It's all going into his brain and everything. He uses regrowth on the whole tower. It's a lot of pretty lights going on. And then Minami is like, damn, that's some power. How did he do that? Some big brain power there from Tatsuya. And then Tatsuya goes to sleep because he's like, okay, I need sleep now. My big brain tired. Miyuki lap pillow. And then he goes to sleep. But the day is saved, so all is good. Then we enter the, I guess, epilogue section of the episode. Maya gets informed by Hayama everything that happened. Tatsuya didn't ask them any questions because Hayama reckons Tatsuya already knew everything, so good for him. Gave a thing to Minami, apparently, they say. I think this must have been the letter that they got shown later on, but they say they gave a thing to Minami. Then it's the school entrance ceremony for the next year, as you do. Tatsuya has gone to the gate to watch. He runs into Mayumi and her two sisters, I guess, have just transferred. Well, not transferred, they've just enrolled at the Magic Academy, so we'll see them. Then he meets up with Miyuki. Minami shows up, she's transferred in and is now a student there. Gives them a letter from, I assume, from Maya. I don't think we actually see, but I'm assuming that's who it was from. And then it turns out Minami is gonna live with them now, because I guess she can help out around the house, but that's... Do they have enough room? Or are the siblings gonna have to sleep together? Don't give Miyuki that idea, oh god. And that was where we ended the episode. Really felt like, this is an alright place to end it. I don't know anything about the light novels, I should probably say. But as a finale, it worked. Everything got resolved. We got the little epilogue section. Obviously, they can make more if they want to, which I think they might. Honestly. Hopefully it doesn't take 5 years this time. But, obviously they're making more. I meant main series. Main series is what I meant. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how everything pans out. Of course, as I mentioned, they already announced the spin-off on a student. It's like a Miyuki-centric spin-off I read, which is going to be kind of weird, because is it going to be the same events, just from Miyuki's perspective, or is it entirely different events? I don't know, I've not read the manga. If people have read the manga, tell me, is it going to be just the same events, or is it going to be, like, different events centered on Miyuki? Please let me know without spoilers, obviously. But, I guess, yeah, let's get, easy for me to say, to my favourite part of the episode, and then we'll talk a bit about this season as a whole. So my favourite part is how Tatsuya and the gang actually attempted to negotiate with the terrorists before they wrecked them. Like, they showed they could have just wrecked them at any time, but I like that they actually thought to try and explain things. Most shows would have just gone straight for the guns blazing route, and I'm glad they had at least a little bit of thought for some negotiation tactics. I appreciate that sometimes. That's good. That is good. But yeah, finale, it was fine. It wasn't a particularly amazing finale. It got the job done though, so well done. But the series as a whole, this season as a whole, I should say, I've seen people saying they've enjoyed this season less than the first season. For me, I don't necessarily agree. For me, it was this series, Regular Magic High School, for me is very consistent. For me, it is consistently like, yeah, I'm enjoying that, but it's never like amazing. Like, I'm enjoying it. It's good. I'm having a good time watching it, but it's not in that next tier for me. It's a solid, it's like a 7 out of 10 for me. Like, the whole series is like a 7. It's like, it's good, but it's not amazing. You know, that's kind of what I think of it. I'm going to piss off some hardcore fans. For the record, I've not read the light novels, and I feel like this is a series that is a lot better in light novel form because of the explanations and stuff. I get information better if I'm reading it on a page than if I am watching a show. That's just me. But yeah, I've enjoyed this season. Lena is probably my best girl, so you know that introduced her, so that's a plus right there. I enjoyed it. You know, I have enjoyed it. It gave a lot of people, like most of Team Tatsuya, had a time to shine in this season, and I'm happy with that. But yeah, let me know what you think. Did you think the season was as good? I mean, is it as good as the first season? I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on that, but I think it was a worthy continuation at least. If it was worse, it wasn't substantially worse. That's just my opinion. But yeah, let me know. Let me know who your best girl is. That's always a fun game. And let me know, do you want to see a season 3? Obviously, I know we got the spin-off coming, but I mean a proper season 3. Do you want to see that? I would be up for that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Let's go for it. I've got to watch the spin-off too, so when that comes out, so stick around when that comes out and we can watch it together again. Wouldn't that be fun? But for right now, though, thank you everybody for watching this review. Subscribe and stuff for more reviews. I'll be putting the video up saying, you know, what I'm watching for January season. That'll be up at some point soon. I don't know exactly when, but soon. But for right now, I will see you guys whenever the next thing is. Oh, that's another thing. I'm going to be doing a video on the main channel. There'll be an annotation on the end card. Basically, every anime I watched this year, ranked from worst to best. So check that out when it comes out. Again, annotation will be in the end card. But for right now, for reals this time, I'll see you next time. So take care, and bye guys.